Yo, 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 what's good, what's good, what's good? All right, let's get this shit going, shall we? This is gonna be a good one today. We got some shit to talk about, or do we? This is a little bit of a last minute podcast, but it's still gonna be fun. We're about to go over and call the man himself and get this bad boy started. How's everybody doing? I appreciate everybody for coming through today. Hope y'all have been good. Hope y'all are doing great. Shit. This one's gonna be a little bit on the fly, a little bit on the cusp. You'll see why I gotta talk to Kablam when I get him in the call here, but gotta make sure that we are both on the same page from now on. I'm gonna have to get his number or something, because this Discord thing ain't working out, bruh. Discord's crazy, man. Discord gets a little crazy sometimes because, like, the messaging system, and then, like, you don't want to put notifications on because then you're gonna get spammed every 5 seconds. It's a lot to deal with, but we're gonna figure it out. I appreciate y'all for coming through, man. Let me try giving him a call. He hasn't answered my message just yet. But let's ring-a-ling-a-ding-him and see if he answers. Let's see. I got a new screen for us to use too. But I gotta make sure he answers first. Did he answer?
Yo, what's good, man?
Yo, there he is. What's going on?
No, sorry, I just now freaking saw the call. I was so busy like discussing this one thing with the chat and stuff. I'm so sorry.
No problem, man. I've been wondering where you've been at for the last 40 minutes, because, you know, I thought we were doing this podcast today.
Yeah, that's totally my fault, man. I'm so
No, I totally forgot. And actually, after this, maybe I'll get your phone number or something, or some other way to get a hold of you, because the Discord thing is, I don't check Discord often enough. So, like, if you don't answer right away, I'll never end up seeing it. But so maybe we can exchange phone numbers or whatever you're comfortable with, and that'll work better. So that way, we'll always, like, you know, we'll be able to get in contact with each other.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Hell yeah, bro. We could definitely set that up.
Okay. Might be easier. Oh, I was asking, do you have any topics prepared? I didn't get any prepared because it was all last minute for me on accident, but I can always pull some up too, so let me know.
Oh, I actually still have a few I can discuss and stuff, so give me 1 second.
Okay, cool. I got a new screen I want to try out. Hopefully it doesn't kill my CPU too bad. But let's see. Let me try this out. Are you guys ready? Also, I don't know if you have a Stream Deck. I don't think you said you had one, but Stream Deck just had a big, like, software upgrade. That's something we can talk about. Stream Deck, which lots of streamers use, it's like how they switch between scenes and they play sound effects and funny clips and stuff like that. The main software for that just updated, and everything is broken right now. So, like, none of the scene switching works. Luckily, some of the sound effects still work, but, like, the whole thing is, like, gone to shit, and it's horrible, bro. It's so bad I can't even use it. So we'll just do it manually, but it's fine too. That works.
Heck yeah.
I've been seeing lots of people complaining about that and everything too. So let's try out this new screen. Oh shit, yeah. Things are a little bit okay. Yeah, dude. This is looking cool so far. Let me type in the chat, because I got a chat thing open here too. Make sure the chat thing's working.
All right.
It didn't show up yet. Cool, man. How you been doing though? How's it been going?
Honestly, it's been awesome, man. Freaking, I made this one video that's actually been blowing up and all that stuff that I really did not even expect it to blow up like that and stuff. So it's been going really good. I gained like an extra, I would say like an extra 20 subscribers just from that and stuff. So that was actually really crazy. But other than that, freaking, basically now on a vacation from work. So I've basically just been busy hanging out with family and yeah, just making music finally and stuff, having the time to do that.
Yeah, tell me about that video a little bit more. What did you end up doing? What was the topic?
What it was all I was doing was literally just making a dubstep track from scratch, and well, not like a whole dubstep track, but just a drop and stuff. Just doing it from scratch using the features from FL Studio 21 and stuff like the beta. And I guess really everyone freaking loved like all the new features that were gonna be in it, so I guess that's what made them freaking love the video and stuff.
Yeah. Damn, okay, that's what's
All the
up.
comments I have on all the comments that I have on there is literally like, "Yo, like I can't wait for this to freaking drop."
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, freaking, you could try it out in the beta right now. Freaking, ain't none stopping you.
Exactly, man. Damn, that's what's up. I love that because, yeah, you never really know which one's going to take off. Sometimes you get like a really good search terms in there so people find it from searching, or if it just ends up getting like a lot of average view duration, like people watch most of it, that'll just send your video off as well, man.
Heck yeah, man. All right, so
Wait, really quick.
I definitely want to. Oh,
Do you remember what that what's that website where you can set up all your stream elements and stuff like that? Do you remember what it's called? I'm blanking on it for some reason. It's not Stream Elements. It's not. It's like Streamlabs. Is it Streamlabs? No, I don't think it's Streamlabs.
I think it might be that, if I'm not mistaken.
It's the one where it's got like all the free stuff on there that you can set up in your in OBS. Maybe it is Streamlabs. I'm just trying to fix the chat thing so it works on here. But yeah, go ahead with what you were doing.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm not too sure what it might be.
Okay, I'll figure it out later. But
yeah, freaking one thing I did want to discuss today was just to get it out of the way. Do you know who Coheed and Cambria are?
No, I don't know. Nope, never heard that before.
All right, well, they're like a rock band that was like, you know, back in the past and stuff and everything. They've still been making music to this day and stuff. Like me personally, I don't really listen to them. I don't really listen to them like that and everything. Like I don't go out of my way to like listen to their music and stuff. But I have heard a few of their hits when I was like younger and shit. So I was like, all right, these guys have a nice sound. So it's not like over the top good or whatever, but it's good. Like it's good for like if you want to like go for a drive and stuff.
Okay.
But definitely their latest album, it's called Vaxis Act 2, A Window of the Wavering Mind. I have to literally say, man, freaking, I had to give him credit on this one. This one was a good album. Because it's basically a concept album that takes place in like intergalactic space and all stuff, but it's kind of like a Romeo and Juliet story and stuff. Like it was really cool, man. So I definitely recommend that.
Interesting. Okay, I'll have to write that down and check them out. Yeah, I haven't heard of them at all, but that's cool if they're still making music and doing everything, you know?
Yeah. Like to me it's pretty cool that, you know, still like rock musicians and stuff, they still make music to this day. The problem with it is that sometimes they fall into these pitfalls and everything where it's just like, oh, we're just gonna give what our audience like loves from us and everything, and that's it and all stuff. But normally, if you want to go with the times and everything, you gotta kind of innovate a little bit. You know what I mean? You gotta do something different and everything. So when they start falling into that trap, it's kind of like, all right, well, you know, you're just doing the same thing you did freaking 10 years ago and shit.
Exactly. Yeah, man. Sometimes they can't get out of that little bubble that they're in with the type of music that they're making, and they just stay in the same lane, just stay in the one lane because they know it works. They know that's what their audience loves, but it's cool when they can jump out of it and actually come up with something that's good too, you know? Because that's another part of it. You can be creative, but if it's also like sounds really good, that's a huge win.
Exactly.
Changing the game, you know?
Yeah, and also I can also hands down say this is just my opinion, but this is one of the best freaking album covers I've seen in a while and stuff. Like let me show this shit.
Yeah, pull it up. Let's see.
Cause how I found this was I was just scrolling through YouTube Music and all stuff because that's normally what I use for streaming music. I was just scrolling through the new releases, and I swear to God, just based off the album cover alone, I was like, "Oh man, this shit looks like it's gonna be dope."
Oh, I'm excited. Let's go.
All right, so let me get right here. All right, so let me go and share my screen right here.
Okay.
All right, tell me about this, man. Tell me you would not want to freaking if you saw this album cover right here.
Damn.
Tell me you would not want to freaking listen to that shit.
That looks pretty epic, man. It almost reminds me of like a Star Wars or like a movie like that, like a futuristic
Yeah.
movie, like one of their like yeah, one of their like image or not images, but like what the title is for it. Yeah, that looks fire, man. And like it almost tells a whole story. It's like there's the
Yeah,
kid
like
who's
just
probably
from the
gonna
album.
grow up and be like the leader or
Yeah.
whatever, and all this stuff. You can almost like get a story just from it, you know?
Yeah, like that's what I got from it too, man. Like literally just from seeing that, you could already tell, like, oh man, this is gonna be like a story or something, man. This is gonna be pretty cool and
Yeah.
everything. And it turned out to be exactly that and all stuff. It's literally like a rock concept album and stuff taking place in like intergalactic space and stuff. Like it's really cool, man. So I highly recommend just like a one listen to it and stuff. Me, I've been listening to it like ever since I freaking listened to it, which was like 2 days ago.
Damn, dude. Okay. And wait, what was it called? Wait, who are these guys again? Coheed and Cambria. Okay.
Yeah, Coheed and Cambria. It's called Vaxis 2, A Window of the Waking Mind, or you could just say Vaxis 2.
Okay. Nice. That's what's up. Access to. Yeah, it looks like the
But,
widget thing
but
is
yeah,
set up. Oh, the text. Damn, I don't know why it's not working. That's annoying the hell out of me. Yo, what's good, Stoodle? How you doing? Yeah, man. So what's been new, dude? What's been even going on in the music world this week? I don't even know. I feel like I've been so out of tune with everything because I've been like trying to get a bunch of stuff done. I'm working on like doing more YouTube videos now, going harder with that. Been
hmm
fixing up some of my websites, making things look cleaner and more professional, and just getting lost in it, man. As you can see, I'm like all over the place, forgetting things, and it's been going crazy.
nah, it's all good, man. And you were even saying like you were kind of like just going through some stuff mentally and stuff. So it was it's all good, man. You're taking care of yourself. But I will say this though, one thing that did spark my interest was uh the alchemist himself, who's a real freaking inspiration for me and stuff. Apparently he actually released a master class and stuff where he can talk about like all the tips and everything for beat making and stuff. Now, while the stuff he talks about is kind of related to like NPC stuff and everything, the tips that he does give is actually like you could apply that to just a DAW system and stuff because it's literally like the same thing you've probably been doing over the years and stuff. It's just he did it on a NPC and stuff.
Okay.
So, but in the end and all stuff, Music Radar actually ended up getting getting their hands on the masterclass, and they actually found 10 good tips and everything that basically came up with and stuff. Now, some of these tips, I'm pretty sure, like if you're a music producer already and stuff, you probably already know this. But if you are just like a beginner and you're like just trying to get better and all that stuff, then definitely I think some of these tips can help you out, man.
Yeah. Do you have them ready to go?
Yep, I have them right here.
Nice. Let's go.
Right, so he released so basically he released a master class on this website. I think it's called All Art and everything. But uh, some of the top tips he had and everything. Number one would be inspiration is key and stuff. So basically, how he says here, it says a record is just source material. It's there to inspire you. If you're not inspired and it's time to make beats, you might skim the needle over a record and find nothing there. It may be that you're not inspired. It may be not that you're not inspired, because if you are inspired to create, you can take any piece of noise and make something creative and stuff. So So pretty much how he's basically saying is like just like how we take samples and everything, and it's like, oh man, like that's the one and everything. It's like if you're inspired to
Yeah.
create something, then freaking, that's the thing to use and stuff. But if you're not inspired, then you're probably just gonna be skimming over like a bunch of stuff before you get to it. So yeah, inspiration is key. Number two, start with a sample first before you go to the drums, which of course I'm pretty sure I do that a lot and everything. And any other producer that does that in the chat and everything, definitely let me know and everything, because I know I start with the sample myself first and everything.
Definitely.
Cause
Yeah. Gotta save the best part for last, right?
Yeah. Because he says here in the early days when he used to sample, he would sample first and then finding the sample, and it's still a great technique because you can literally kill a beat with a great sample and all that stuff. But definitely, yeah, find like an interesting sample first and then build off of that. Or you can start with the drums first and get a little bit more unorthodox with your chopping and streaming and sample chopping as well and stuff.
Yeah.
Because for him, he says it got to a point where finding a sample and then adding the drums, it became pretty much boring and all that stuff because he was doing it every day. So what he started doing was he added the drums first, because now with the drums going, you really don't know where the hell you want to take it. So now you're playing the sample over the drums and you're finding little snippets inside of the sample to really go like, oh man, like, that would sound good in this part. So you chop that part, put it in there, listen to it again. And then it's like, oh, that part sounds good. So you chop that up and put it in there. And then you basically just build off of just the sample chops yourself all over the drums and everything. But it's led to some of the beats that he's more gratified with. Like, you can even hear some of this, and like, I would play this and everything, but because copyright and everything. This is a great example off of Jay Electronica's latest album and everything that he put out and everything. Like, he started off with like pretty crazy drums and everything and just built the sample over it and all stuff, and it still sounded pretty cool and everything. And number 4 is layering your samples and everything. So layering is how you create the magic. And to make the beat with a lot of layers sound like a finished product is tough to do, especially on an MPC and stuff. But as you add your layers, there'll be different elements. But when you mix them together and stuff, the goal is to make people's ears not be able to hear those layers. So basically, it kind of feels like it's all one sound and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's also a good way. Like, if you are using, like, let's just say copyrighted samples and everything, you layer that sample with another sample and all stuff, they wouldn't be able to hear that like in its entirety and stuff because you're chopping up like different parts of it and stuff and shit and then layering them together. Number 5, this is my favorite one and everything. If you are a person that struggles with like disorganization and stuff, definitely take this into consideration. All right, label your samples. All right, label your samples, because for him and everything, he's more like, all right, I'm just gonna go and do it type of guy and stuff. So he doesn't really label stuff. But if you label stuff, it makes stuff so much easier to find in the end. And plus, and this is another good thing, because he says here and stuff. If you intend to sell beats on a high level, it's a good idea to remember and write down all the samples you use, like label them down and everything, because you will get into some hot water if whatever rapper's hot at the time picks your beat and then he ends up blowing up with it, and then they ask like, okay, well, what samples did you use? And you don't even have the freaking answer to that. They're gonna be like, oh, okay, like we gotta do a little bit of investigation on you.
Yeah, I think with that one, like, you could almost just, like, what you would save the name of it in, like, so most people save their project files when they create beats, right? So I'd say, like, try to save that project file under the same name as the beat that you're making. So, like, when you export it, try to keep the same name as when you saved it in, like, Ableton or something. So that way,
yeah,
you know the name of the beat and you can look it up in your project files, and then you can open up the old project and then you can click on the sample and see exactly what it is. And you could either go back into your files folders and see what it is there, or the name will be on the sample as it already is. So that's something that I tend to do a lot as well, because if you end up using a sample that is not royalty free, or you have to get cleared or something like that, you got to be able to find it some way or another. But it's funny because I've heard other people talk about like don't even worry about getting it cleared. Like, just put it out there, and then like once there's problems that come up afterwards, then like go and try to get it cleared. It's almost like do it. Don't ask for permission first. Just like do the thing and then apologize later. That's like, I don't know. That's like they use that in like different fields too. That's like something that a lot of people go by. I don't know. It just seems to work out better that way or something. But yeah, I totally get that.
Yeah, man. But yeah, so that was definitely
That's what it is.
A very useful one and everything, in my opinion. So labeling your samples just for that alone and everything is good. But yeah, I also see your point too, because I know people that do that too. It's like, oh, I'm just gonna sample this sample from like the Stylistics or something like that, which of course is like one of the most sampled people in the freaking world and shit. But yeah, I'm just gonna take the stylistic sample and I'm just gonna freaking make something out of it. And then, you know, if they come by and everything, hey, I'm gonna be rich by then and all stuff. So hey, I could just handle it and everything. It's like, bro, they would get into your pockets way before that.
Yeah, Stoodle said it in the chat. He said, easier to ask for forgiveness than permission. That's what they say.
Yeah, I guess that's a way. That's
or maybe
like
not even necessarily easier, but I think you get a better outcome that way. Because if you ask permission, they can say no right away. Whereas if you just use it and then you ask for forgiveness later on, you already used it, you already got the result, and there's a better chance they're going to let it just stay, you know?
Yep. So that's why it's just better to just ask and everything. It's just better to just say, hey, can I use this? No? Okay. And then you just go to the next thing and shit. And then you find something else and it's like, hey, can I use this? Oh yeah, just pay me like freaking $1,500 or something. It's like, all right, freaking there you go. Freaking now you get to use it. So now there's
I don't know. I don't necessarily agree, but I see what you're saying at least.
Yeah. That's just how I'm seeing it and stuff. Again, it's not the proper way to do it, but that's just how.
Plus, here's the other thing. Here's the other thing you have to think about that completely destroys what you just said. If you ask for permission and they say no, you could miss out on an opportunity where you blow up. Let's say Juice WRLD, for example. His most popular song was Lucid Dreams, where they stole a guitar melody from Sting. They literally copy and pasted it. Now, if they asked for Sting's permission before they used it, Sting probably would have said, no, you can't use that, and that song would have never came out. If that song never came out, Juice WRLD would never have been as popular as he was, because that was the song that gained him such an audience and put him out there into the real world, right? So it's a good thing they didn't ask for permission, and instead they asked for forgiveness later on. Now, Sting ended up turning around and taking like 90% of the royalties and the profit from it. But there's more than just royalties that are associated with this. It's the popularity and that you gained from dropping the song that ended up being a masterpiece. So that's how that kind of destroys that theory, because you miss out on so much more by if they say no up front. Unless you went ahead and just did it anyways. You could always do that. But yeah, so that's kind of where that saying comes from, you know? Better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
Yeah. I guess, yeah, I can see that as well and everything, because there's been a lot of good songs and everything that, yeah, if they did freaking ask for permission, it probably would have never gotten made. So, yeah, that's actually a good point.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a real good point.
It's a crazy world out there. Sampling is and it should be easier to sample, I feel like, and people shouldn't be as butthurt about it, because nothing is better for nostalgia than sampling an old song, an old hit. Like, it's an easy way to make there's a lot of ways to make older stuff into a classic banger, classic hit, just by sampling it and then doing your own thing on top of it. So I wish it was easier to get clearance on samples and stuff like that, but I guess it wouldn't be as fun, right? It wouldn't be as fun if it was too easy.
Yeah, nothing in life is ever easy. Even if you want it to be easy and stuff, there's always something that messes it up.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, so getting back to this, so number 6 and everything, basically using mute groups and stuff. This is basically just him saying, like, you know, like all those parts in the beats where, like, you know, it kind of cuts off to like emphasize a lyric or something and everything. That's pretty much what he's talking about, is just using mute groups on your beat and everything. So it kind of gives that sense of like, oh, this is where that one line is gonna stick out and everything for like the artist and stuff and shit. So it's pretty cool. I like that one. Number 7 is be creative with your structure and stuff. So pretty much just make sure your beats and everything pretty much sound interesting overall throughout the entire experience and stuff. Because he says he'll work on a tight 2-bar loop and then make that 2 to a 4, then turn that 4 to an 8, and then turn that 8 and I'll make that 8 sound a little different, and then turn that 8 into a 16, and then make something different for the 12th and the 16. And also, so pretty much as long as you're being creative with your structure, your beats and all that stuff, then it'll sound interesting as the duration of the song goes on and stuff. So that's okay. And they use the fear here and everything as an example and everything, because he starts off the beat with like the sample and everything of like Kendrick's cousin talking about like hey, like we felt like, hey, we fell from God's grace and all that stuff. We aren't following these commands and all that stuff. And that leads to him feeling fear, about all the stuff that he's been doing and shit. And that's why the beat ends up sounding the way it does.
Right.
And then he switches it up from, the main beat to like having a completely different beat at the very end, where he's actually doing another freaking snippet from his cousin talking about that shit. So that's actually pretty cool how he was creative. He was creative with that and stuff, and it literally made it like a full on like centerpiece of the whole album and shit.
Yeah, super creative, man. One of the maybe the most creative album this year was his new album. I think personally, like, just the things he talked about, the beats that he was on, just overall just felt like such a cohesive project. Now, the songs may not be like bangers that you're going to listen to in the car or at parties, but overall, man, you can't say it wasn't creative. You can't say he's not talented. And you cannot say that wasn't a work of art. Everything else you can, argue with, but those things for sure, man. Hell yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree.
Yeah.
All right, and we're almost there. So at number 8,
no rush.
Yeah, at number 8 we have use quantization carefully and stuff. So pretty much make your beats feel loose and stuff, and make it feel like there's swing to it and stuff. Because he even says here, swing is very important because that's that neck snap that you get. Like when people be like,
yeah,
ooh, this shit hard and stuff.
The
like,
groove,
that swing and stuff. That's the swing, that's the groove and stuff. So. Definitely, he says if you're gonna quantize something, at least make it like at least like a downbeat or something like that. Or let me see what he says right here. It says right here, when you make music, it's good to have one thing that's locked in, and by locked in, that means quantized. For me, that's my starting point. Depending on what the beat is, I'll pick one element to be that, and the rest of the material I'll just leave loose. So like, let's just say he wanted just like the first kick or the first couple kicks to be quantized. He'll have that be quantized, but then literally all the hi-hats, all the snares, everything else you hear is all put into a swing mode and everything, where it just feels loose and feels more humanistic and stuff. So definitely just use it a lot more carefully when it comes to making beats. And number 9, tailor your vocal chain. So this is just if you're into vocal processing and stuff. For him, he uses a light vocal chain. Like he just uses like a Waves Renaissance equalizer, which honestly, that's actually a good equalizer. I'm not gonna lie, it's actually a good equalizer. But everyone's voice is different. Like for example, like Mobb Deep, like Havoc from Mobb Deep, he never needed an EQ because his voice was literally made for rapping. Like it punches through all the frequencies and all that stuff, so you could literally hear it over the freaking beat.
Yeah,
and everything. Whereas with Prodigy, he was a lot more like trickier and all that stuff. He had to boom your voice in the mid frequencies, whereas it wasn't good in the low frequencies. So he had to find a way to tame the beat in the mid frequencies in order for his voice to go through and stuff. So basically, just tailor it to where it's very simple. Like it's just a light EQ, and he even has like a light compressor on it, like the Waves Renaissance compressor. And then after that, just add a little bit of reverb and stuff. Because the point of it is that as he says here, the rapper is supposed to be able to, as he puts it in his words. He's supposed to be leaning his back on the snare. All right, the snare can't be in front of him. He's got to be leaning on the snare while he's freaking rapping and stuff, and his feet got to be on the kick and stuff. That's basically how he says it. But yeah, basically what he's saying, it has to sit right there, perfectly in tune with the beat. So definitely, don't go overboard with your vocals and stuff. And last but not least, this is something I desperately need to freaking try for myself because I see the power in this, but I never freaking do it. And last but not least, reference your final mix with a mix that you already know is good, and then use that as like a matcher and stuff. Like, okay, so this mix sounds good. How can I get it to sound like that? And then you just go back and forth until you get it to sound like that. I've never tried this shit because to me, I kind of always felt like it was, in a sense, cheating and stuff and shit. Because I'm kind of like, am I just using like another person's track just to like do this and stuff? Like, why can't I just use my own ears to make it like this? But now I actually see the power in it and everything. Because especially like if you make dubstep and stuff, if you want to make something that sounds like Tear Out and everything, you got to be able to match the freaking loudness and all stuff of a Tear Out song. Otherwise, it's not going to meet that bar and stuff. And the only way you can do that is with a reference track and stuff. That's how you're going to be able to do it.
So you've never used a reference track?
Never, bro.
Really?
Never.
Wow. Okay. Well, yep. I tell you what.
I know it's weird,
it's not
bro.
fun to do.
I know it's weird, but I just never thought to do that.
Yeah, it's not something. Using a reference track is never fun because it's just like an extra step when you just want to be done with the song or whatever. But it's one of the more beneficial things, especially for getting your sound and your leveling like you hear in mainstream music or more popular music per se, not just mainstream. But yeah. That's interesting. Okay. So you're going to start doing it now? You're going to try it out at least?
Heck yeah, man. I'll definitely try it out for my EP that I've been working on, which of course, if no one hasn't really picked it up, I actually have been streaming, making an EP live on my YouTube and everything. So if you want to come by and see the whole process and everything, definitely come by the YouTube and everything. We'll be streaming some more of it tomorrow.
Oh yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, I remember you talking about that last time we met.
Yeah, I'm already like 6 days into it already, but I ended up taking like a couple days break just to like, enjoy the start of my vacation and just, hang out with family and stuff.
Oh yeah, you're taking vacation? I think I remember you saying that. Was for a week, right?
Yeah, for a week.
Yeah, you're taking a week vacation, you're just going to make music the whole time, right? That's dope. Yeah. Oh yeah. Sounds like fun.
Definitely I'll be squeezing a lot of music in there, but definitely I'll be more often, like, I would say, catching up on a lot of videos and everything that I have yet to finish editing and stuff, because, I have time constraints and stuff.
Right. Good shit, man. Okay.
But yeah, this week's going to be very productive, and just overall, it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait for it. But yeah, those are the 10 beat-making tips from the Alchemist himself, which I thought was actually pretty cool. Again, some of these, like, if you've already been making beats, you probably already, know it and stuff, but it's always good to get a good little refresher and all that stuff, because sometimes, especially me, I tend to kind of overcomplicate some stuff every now and then, and it's always good to just hear from, like, a person who's made it, to go, like, no, you don't really need to, like, go all, like, crazy with it. Just do this and that, and then it sounds good. Because the point is that it sounds good and all stuff in the end. That's the whole point with music, is that it just has to sound good. As long as it sounds good, then everything else falls into place.
Well, hey, really quick before you take that down, can you read through each one of those one more time really quickly, and then let's like pick what our favorite one is, and then everybody in the chat, let us know which one of these is your favorite, or whichever one you think is most important. Yeah. And then we'll also say that before we close this out, because I think that's dope.
All right, definitely. So definitely the top 10 beat making tips from The Alchemist. We have number 1 is inspiration is key. So your record or your sample is basically your source material that's for your inspiration. If you're not inspired, you're not going to make anything. Number 2.
Yeah, we can just run through these. Start with the sample first, or start with the drums first.
Number 3 is, or start with the drums first, whichever one's more comfortable for you and everything. Number 4, layer your samples. Number 5, label your samples for organization. 6, we have use mute groups. 7 is be creative with your structure. 8 is use quantization carefully. 9 is tailor your vocal chain. And 10 is reference your final mix.
These are, yeah. Now that I'm looking at them all like that, some of these are just kind of random, honestly. But if I had to pick one, I'd probably say the reference, honestly, referencing your tracks, because, yeah, like I said before, it's never something fun to do, but I think it's so important to not only reference your tracks, but try to match like the samples that they use in those tracks, because there's a reason that artists used all those samples together. Like, for instance, the kick, the snare, the hi-hat. It's because all of them work together really well. And you can almost guarantee that the person that made that track might be able to hear things better than you. They've trained their ears longer than you have. Unless you've been doing it for a while. But especially if you're newer, you can take a listen to their sound selection, especially for their drums and things, because a lot of, like, certain kick will work with a certain 8 better than other ones. One hi-hat might sound better with a certain kind of snare with the melody versus another one. And as you start to reference different tracks, try to copy the drum sounds and the patterns that they're using, and like the levels in between them, like how high is the kick in comparison with the 808, you're going to start to make clicks in your brain naturally, and you're going to be able to do it without having to listen to referencing tracks if you do that enough. But let me tell you, I've done it. It is not fun to do, but it's one of those things that's so beneficial, it's worth doing. So that's my 2 cents.
Nah. And definitely, I would say for me, I'd say, yeah, that it would be definitely the same one, but also be creative with your structure and stuff.
Yeah.
That's also another really good one, in my opinion, because, like, it's very easy to fall into, you know, your normal traps and everything. Like, all right, friggin', it just sounds like this, friggin', just copy that over there, and bam, you're good and everything. But if you can really, like, make it very creative to where, like, you can, like, switch it up right here, do a little bit of a 808 drop right here and everything, then it's like, oh man, now the whole freaking thing is like ear candy and stuff throughout the whole experience.
Yeah. And I almost feel like trying out new things too is a good way when you have beat block, is to, like, I was just telling I had a coaching session with someone yesterday. It went amazing, by the way. But one thing I was telling him is, if he was asking what are some things you do if you have beat block, and I was telling him one of the things is just try something else out. Maybe in this track you use 2 or 3 different hi-hats that all work together, or 3 open hats, or 3 snares, or maybe you don't even have a hi-hat, or maybe you just do different things like that. Because when you try out these different things and you be creative, sometimes you come across something that's just like next level, and it's crazy, man, what it can do for you. So I agree with that too. And Stoodle in the chat says layering, he'd say, is the most important for him. He says sometimes you can get so into making layers that you can take the sample out completely and just use your own parts. And I 100% agree with that as well.
Yo,
and
that's dope. Yeah, for real. Yeah.
And even like if you want to make your own samples and stuff like that, like you want to make a drum kit, or you want to try to make new sounds that you're going to use in your beats, man, layering different samples together is key, because you can layer like some of your favorite samples together and come up with something new that's, you know, combined. So yeah, layering is huge, man, for sure.
Yeah, definitely, man. I honestly never even thought of it like that, but that's actually really cool, man. That's a cool way you put it, man. That's dope.
Yeah, good shit.
All right, so let's see what I have. Next here. All right, so I'm pretty sure this is probably like old news or something like that, but I just like found this out, and I swear to freaking God, I busted out laughing.
Okay.
And everything. I busted out laughing when I saw this shit. So
well, I'm excited now.
All right, so let me share this real quick. Go here. Okay, so Kanye West's Instagram account got suspended due to alleged anti-Semitism. And so I was reading this and I was like, yo, what the heck happened? And so it says here, Kanye's Instagram account has been suspended. Sorry for that.
Yeah.
Due to violating Instagram's social media platform policies. According to the Hollywood Reporter, this account was not only restricted from posting, commenting, or sending DMs, but IG also deleted some of Kanye's recent posts, which included references to going to war. I was like, yo, what the heck's going on here?
Kanye,
so
man.
The restriction came after an exchange between Kanye and Diddy, in which West appeared to claim Diddy was controlled by Jewish people.
Dude, Kanye is off the chain sometimes, man.
The message was captioned, Jesus is Jew. This ain't a game. I'm going to use you as an example to show the Jewish people that I told you to call me, that no one can threaten or influence me. I told you this was war. Now go and get you some business and stuff. It's like, bro, what the heck was this? Like, all right. Diddy's attempts to de-escalate the tension were met with Kanye discontinuing to claim that he's being victimized. Anything you text, I will post. I love you. And you guys are breaking my heart. I accept your apology in advance. Kanye wrote, ending their exchange. What the heck? Anything you text, I will post. I love you. And you guys are breaking my heart. I accept your apology in advance. Wait, what?
Yeah. He's been on a roll lately. He's been doing some crazy stuff.
All right, and this is, he reportedly took to Twitter not long after his IG restriction, a platform he hasn't used in years, and began to go in on Mark Zuckerberg. He started going on freaking Mark Zuckerberg and stuff.
Yeah.
Next to a photo featuring him and Zuckerberg, Kanye wrote, Look at this, Mark. How you gonna kick me off Instagram? You used to be my nigga." And it's just this photo right here and everything. I'm like, wow, bro.
Oh my god. Yeah. That's too crazy. That's an old photo, isn't it?
Yeah, this was like back when I think Facebook was like just becoming like very popular and all that stuff and shit. Like that was back in that time and everything, like when Mark was making a name for himself and shit. And freaking even Kanye kind of like, I guess, again, I don't want to say this and all stuff and make it like false information, but it kind of seemed like, you know, he kind of co-signed like what Mark was doing for a minute and stuff, but then he saw what social media does to people and it's like, well, what the hell is this? And he just kind of backed away from it.
Yeah,
but
I'm not a big fan of them like taking people's like social media accounts away, you know what I mean? I think that like that's like banning, you know, that's like the opposite of free speech. Like if you want to go ahead and like blacklist them or like shadow ban them, that's one thing, but like to completely remove their account and not let them use it is a little unsettling. I'm not a big fan of that, to be honest. I'm a big free speech kind of guy, and yeah, I don't like that they do that. You know, they could do other things like, you know, suspend them or not allow them to post for a certain amount of time or some stuff like that, but like just taking their account away and never letting them create one again is just, I don't know, man. Because once they start doing that, what's next, you know? They got a lot of control. Man. That's the problem, too, is like these social media, they got a lot of control because everybody's on them, right? Like Instagram, probably the biggest social media are out right now. So you take that away, that's a large chunk of like someone's business and what their potential could be.
Oh, yeah.
And their brand.
Like, yeah, pretty much any social media platform. Yeah, like pretty much any social media platform. Like if you make a living off of that and freaking they're able to suspend you like that, man, like you got to really be careful, bro.
Yeah.
You got to really be careful. But this is what led me to go to the next part, cuz I read this part and it said he's been making headlines since revealing his controversial White Lives Matter shirt and everything. I was like, when did this start? When did this start? So I had to freaking look this up and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And that led to pretty much... Oh, shit. That pretty much led to this video and all that stuff, which pretty much explained that and everything. I don't know if the chat can actually see the video.
Yeah, we can see it.
Oh, you can see the video? Okay, cool. So this is what it led to.
DX Daily, and Kanye West has come out and explained why he wore a White Lives Matter t-shirt during a new interview with Fox News. Ye addressed his controversial Paris Fashion Week stunt in a conversation with Tucker Carlson on Thursday, October 6th, revealing that he thought the shirt was funny.
I do certain things from a feeling. I just channel the energy. It just feels right. It's using a gut instinct, a connection with God, and just brilliance. You know, like as if you asked like Tanya Harding how she did the triple flip or the triple spin. She was in so much practice that when it was time for her to skate in a competitive format, it just happened. Like it happened outside of practice. It happened in the real format, and that's what's happening. Is God is like preparing us for the real battles, and we are in a battle with the media. Like the majority of the media has a godless agenda, and the jokes in that working. This whole like, oh yeah, he's crazy, and all these things, they don't work because the media has, you know, they've also watched travesties happen, just even specifically to me, and just watch it and act like it wasn't happening, and they stay quiet about it.
What if they?
So,
What if?
I want to answer the white.
Yeah.
I feel like someone caught what I was saying, the comparison to Tanya Harding about the White Lives Matter. You know, my dad is an educated ex-Black Panther, and he put a text to me today. He said, "White Lives Matter, ha 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 ha," and I said, I thought the shirt was a funny shirt. I thought the idea of me wearing it was funny, and I said, "Dad, what do you think it was funny?" He said, just a Black man stating the obvious. Yeah, that's my favorite response, because I keep on thinking, like, you know, people, they're looking for.
Yeah, man. So I kind of get what he was going for. It was like, yeah, like, you know, the media does actually like play with our emotions like that and everything, but in a sense and everything, I could probably just like play the rest of it and everything. And he probably gets the whole bread and butter of it and stuff, but it just freaking got to me that it's like, yo, I get that, you know, the media does this shit and all that stuff, but the fact that you are literally going out of your way and doing this and showing off like a shirt that says, you know, White Lives Matter and all that stuff, and you're literally thinking like, oh, nothing's gonna freaking come from that. Like
right.
The media's twisted everything up to where literally everything's like reactionary and stuff. So the minute they see it, of course people are gonna freaking make a big deal about it and all that stuff.
You know what's
but the
interesting?
Fact that he just still did is like something.
Yeah, you know what's interesting is that it may seem like sometimes it seems like he's off the rocker and he's doing like such crazy stuff all the time. But one thing's for damn certain is that he's in the news consistently. He's always doing something crazy, mentioning something wild, coming up with new crazy products, leaving companies, doing all this stuff. It seems like he's always in the news, and he's consistently in the news, and he's staying relevant. And while it does seem like he's off the rocker sometimes, I have to wonder if some of it is for relevancy, because he's obviously a brilliant man. He's obviously one of the smartest artists alive. He's a billionaire for damn sake, but he's always in the news. He's never getting stale. His name never fizzles out. He knows what he's doing. He definitely knows what he's doing. He's brilliant. He's got his own, he obviously, music destroyed the music industry, destroyed the clothing and designer industry with his shoes and his clothing and his brands. Pretty much everything that he puts his effort into turns to gold. It makes me wonder, is this all... Maybe he's just extremely vocal about the things that he knows are very edgy, and he finds like certain ways to twist it so that certain people will obviously turn on him for that and not like him. But the people that agree with him and his message, it's going to bond them so much closer together, because it's kind of like that us versus them mentality. The people that agree with him probably disagree with society and the things he's totally against. And that's going to, obviously, some people are going to hate him and some people are going to love him. It's the polarity, right? It's the law of polarity. And that's going to bond people even closer to him. So I wonder how much of this is really just him going crazy, and how much of it is like him knowing what he's doing and almost pushing the boundaries and seeing what he can get away with. I'm sure he didn't want to get his Instagram account taken away. Like, no one wants that. But yeah, it's very interesting, man.
Yeah, it does make you wonder for real, man. Like, you know, what really is all this like really for and all that stuff. Like, even I even heard from freaking Rick Ross himself and everything. Even he says like, honestly, at this point and everything, like, Kanye just does this because he knows that literally this is what people freaking want to see and all stuff. They want the shock value. They want to see this shit. So that's the reason why he freaking does it. That's how he stays relevant every freaking day and everything, because he finds like the most left wing topic that people would never even think anyone would freaking say, and he'll just say it. And people freaking be like, whoa, he really said that and everything. It's like, yeah.
Okay, so it sounds like Rick Ross was saying the same thing I was.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Like he basically sees the strategy and all that stuff. Like, now me personally, I don't know if it is a business strategy or anything. That's the thing I don't know. But one thing I can definitely say is that if that's really the truth and everything, then yeah, Kanye is definitely a genius in marketing and stuff. Because man, he's able to keep himself freaking going and everything,
super
no matter
relevant.
what.
You got to imagine that at least a percentage of it is the marketing and branding aspect. And then another percentage is him just being so deliberate with his ideas, or maybe deliberate's not the right word, but so vocal about his ideas and things that he thinks are true. It's like, it's almost like it's almost like his life is out there for everyone to see, right? Kind of like it. I bet you when he started dating the Kim Kardashians and those people, or that girl, you know how their life is so public. It almost seems like ever since he was with Kim and now he left her, or she left him or whatever, he's still putting everything out there. It's almost like the mistakes he does, everybody sees. The good things he does, everybody sees. He's almost like growing and evolving into this person in front of all of the media to see. And because of that, he's keeping that relevance. But he's also doing some crazy stuff. You know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't want everybody to know every thought or everything you said. There might be some controversial takes that you have or some weird things that you think about, but you're not putting everything out there for everybody to see. But he is, because he's in the spotlight. You know, he's such a huge figure, such a role model in good and bad ways. But yeah, good shit.
Yeah, definitely, man. But yeah, so that was definitely a story that freaking, when I found that out, I was like, wow, bro. Like, normally I don't be looking up a lot of stuff from Kanye because, like I said, it's usually just a bunch of shock value marketing stuff and everything. But that one in particular and everything, when I saw that, I was like, wow, what the hell did he do now? And then I just had to find that out.
While we're on Kanye, I'll share one that I have right here because it's about Kanye too, so you might as well just tackle it all. And I think I touched on this. Well, we didn't end up doing one last week, but the week before, the last time we did one, we ended up talking about this a little bit. So this is kind of an update to it. Let me go ahead and pull this up. Boom. So Kanye has officially terminated his Gap partnership, and Adidas is up next. So I think what they said is Adidas, he's waiting for the contract, the timing of the contract, and then he's out of there. He's done. But he's officially terminated his partnership with Gap. He's officially taken that stance. You can read a little bit of this. Kanye West doesn't do anything halfway. The Yeezy founder has finally taken his beefs with business partners Adidas and Gap to the one logical endpoint. He's confirmed that he'll leave both companies at the end of their respective Yeezy contracts. So let's go down right here. He said, Kanye rarely does interviews or speaks to the media about his hijinks. That's a weird word, hijinks. But made an exception for Bloomberg, to whom he explained his rationale for leaving Adidas and Gap. He said, I made the companies money. The companies made me money. Profound. He said, we created ideas that will change apparel forever, like the round jacket, the foam runners, the slides that have changed the shoe industry. Now it's time for Ye to make the new industry. No more companies standing in between me and the audience. That's spoken like a true hustler, man. Let's see. They say, considering Kanye's immense loyal following, it's not so surprising that he'd eventually go independent. The seeds of his latest move were planted earlier this summer when the first official Yeezy Instagram account suddenly appeared. Blue check account and all. Is this it right here? High snobriety? Damn, they already got 4.8 million followers, but yeah, you got the blue check. Yeezy's first physical retail store will be in Atlanta. So it sounds like he's leaving Adidas officially, and he's making Yeezy a separate entity all on its own, which honestly is a very smart move because he's relevant. He's constantly in the news. People are going to follow him. Dude, people love Yeezys. I love Yeezys.
Yeah.
So shout out to him for this.
Makes sense for him to actually now like really open his own business like that and stuff. Like that's cool, man.
Yep, because he's accused Adidas. I'm sure you guys have seen the foam runners that he came up with. Adidas went ahead and made their own foam runners, which look a little bit different, but they're almost exactly the same. I don't have a picture of it here, but let me see if I can pull it up while I'm talking about it. But it was almost exactly the same, dude. Yeezy foam runners, but it was almost exactly the same, and it was crazy that they did that. I wonder if there's a picture of just, I can go to Google Images. Yeah, you can see that they're so similar, but the thing about the Adidas one is it actually has a shoe liner inside of it. Okay, here you go. You can see how dang close it really is. This is absolutely ridiculous. I wish this was a bigger picture, but they literally added like a tongue and some laces versus this is just like, the cushion thing, but that's how damn close they stole it, bro. They actually stole his design, sold it as just an Adidas product, and yeah, they at least should have credited him or something for it. So I thought that was absolutely crazy, but Yeezys have definitely taken like some ideas from like Adidas, some of their fabrics and different things that they use, but nothing that was, this obvious of a ripoff. But so he has, in my opinion, he has every right to be mad.
Oh yeah, for real. Like, especially for something like that, like they literally just took his original design and was just like, yeah, we're just gonna 10x this one part right here.
Yeah.
Just make it bigger a little bit, and then hey, that's us and shit. It's like, bro, it's the same design though.
Yep,
It's
and
the
he's
same
also
design.
Yeah, and he's accusing Gap of doing pretty much the same thing. As you can see right here, his Balenciaga Gap Balenciaga collab. Okay, yeah, so that's Gap and Balenciaga, but I don't know that these don't look too let me see, hold on, maybe it's the next picture. Oh yeah, so right here. This is Gap. This is the shirt that they came out with, and I believe this was the original that Kanye came out with. But it's just all the companies trying to get one up because obviously Kanye knows what he's doing. He knows what works and what doesn't work. He's a freaking genius. And these companies want to take it, not credit him at all, and use pieces of his work and change it in minimal ways. So, I mean, shout out to him. This was, he made a lot of noise as he was exiting these guys, but I almost wonder if it was good that he made the noise because that's going to give his new companies more of a push, right? Because he's in the news, just like we were talking about. He's staying relevant. So maybe it wasn't the best way to leave these companies to make as much noise and go as crazy as possible, but maybe it was because it's going to draw so much awareness to his new brands and all those things. So yeah, he just has a way of doing things that benefits him in millions of ways and maybe a little bit of downfalls. Oh, the other thing is, did you see this video he came out with on YouTube where it was almost like a video game sort of a deal?
No, not exactly. I didn't see this one.
I wonder if this is part of it. Well, he dropped a video, I believe it was this week on YouTube, and it was all him acting with different people, but it was like, it looked just like a video game. It had like a health bar and his name up at the top, and he was walking really funny like an NPC character and doing crazy things. I wonder if this is it. Let's see. No, it's not. But anyways, it was really, really different. But I think that was part of a... I wish there was a little snippet of it. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I don't know if I'll be able to pull it up. Kanye West. But yeah, I thought it was really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think about this whole Kanye West thing, man? Like him leaving, terminating Gap and Adidas, and you think it's a good thing for him, or?
Well, I'm pretty sure, like, in terms for him and everything, I'm pretty sure anything kind of is going to be pretty much good for him and stuff. In terms of, like, I would say, like when it comes to like an advertising thing and stuff, then yeah, like anything will be freaking good on him, good for him and stuff. But
Yeah.
I'll say this: it is a little bit shocking in my opinion because like I remember like hearing freaking Kanye always talk about the Gap and everything. Like if you ever listen to like his old music and everything, he would always be talking about, oh yeah, if you worked at the Gap and everything, you just make some money, you know, so you save that up and all stuff. Like he'd always mention that. So when he actually got into collaboration, that was like a big W and all that stuff. It was like, man, like he always talked about this, and now he's actually working with them. That's cool and shit. And now like years later and all that stuff, it's like, hey, like we kind of had this falling out, so. You know, it's kind of sad to see and stuff, but then again, you know, like we said, he's a really smart dude. He knows what he's doing and stuff. He knows how to market like his brand and all that stuff. So freaking, I'm pretty sure, yeah, him parting ways is really not gonna hurt him much and everything. He's just gonna ride off of whatever's going through the media and stuff, and he'll just use that to his advantage.
100%, man. 100%. I totally agree. And yeah, I mean, he kind of had to do this thing where he partnered with a brand that already had a reputation before he could kind of go on his own. I mean, he could have done it the other way too, but it wouldn't be as big of an impact because now that he's made all this clothing and all these shoes that have done really well and people absolutely love, now people are going to follow him over to his other brand. So he's going to take all of those Adidas customers and those Gap customers and make them his own as well for doing that because they're going to follow him wherever he goes. So very smart play on his part.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure everything will work out for him in the end and stuff. So, again, this is just one of those reasons why, like I say, you know, hey, I respect Kanye for, you know, like his hustle and all stuff, but I just don't like him as a person when it comes to certain things and stuff just because the way he just goes about things and stuff. It's like, wow, man, like you could have handled that so differently, but instead you're just like, no, I'm gonna do it like this and then I'm gonna post it on social media. It's like, all right. I'm pretty sure everyone wanted to know that.
For real. Yeah, so yeah, did you have any other topics you want to talk about? I have a couple others, but just some quick ones. Well, you can go ahead next.
The only other thing, I'd say the last new thing I had to talk about was, did anyone listen to that new Lil Baby album?
Oh, that was one of the ones I was going to talk about too, yeah.
Yeah, freaking, I don't know, me personally, like, I like him as a feature, like, when it comes to a feature and everything, every time I hear Lil Baby and everything, I'm like, man, this guy's pretty cool and shit. But I don't know, like, I just can't seem to get into his projects for some reason. Like, his projects will start off a certain way, and then it just kind of like trails off and everything. And it's just like, okay. I don't know. I guess to me, it's just kind of mid and stuff. But I would like to see what you guys think about it.
Well, it's projected to sell, I think, upwards of 200,000 copies, which is obviously top tier. So it's doing amazing.
Oh, yeah.
It's a Lil Baby. It's everything you would expect from him. He's not doing... Well, here's the thing. I haven't listened to the whole thing through. I've listened to probably 10 songs off of it so far. And I think there's at least 23. So from what I've heard, there's definitely some hard stuff on there. Some really dope beats. It's everything you'd expect. From what I've heard, he hasn't stepped out of the box too much. I'll have to listen to the whole thing before I can give a complete critique. But... I mean, he knows what works, right? He has a template, and it's kind of like what we were talking about the other weeks where trap music is just doing the same thing over and over again. It's not really changing up much, and everybody knows that, and Lil Baby knows if he just does this sort of deal with this sort of flow on this sort of beat, people are going to love it, it's going to sell, and it's going to do numbers. So it might just be a case of, yeah, it's the same thing again, but it works, and it sounds good, and it's different lyrics, so... Here you guys go. Yeah. Here's like 23 songs that are exactly what you would expect. No one's going to complain because it's not something so left field like Drake's House album. It's not something so completely different where people are going to complain, but it's, you know, exactly what they come to expect. So I definitely think there's a few songs in there that are really dope, especially the beats. If you guys just listen to this for the beats, and you can get some inspiration from some new kinds of beats and new like hi-hat patterns and cool stuff to do. There's a lot in here. So what I've heard so far, I like it so far. It's nothing to run home about, nothing too crazy, but yeah, definitely some bangers on here for sure.
Yeah, I'll definitely agree. Like when it comes to the beats and everything, like if you want some good inspiration on like what some of the new beats of the new age are gonna be sounding like and everything, definitely give that a listen and stuff. Some because there were some beats in there and everything that this is honestly, I would say this, the beats is what kept me listening to the song, listening to the whole album and stuff,
Yeah.
just because I was literally like yo, the way they did the sample chop on this one, like that's actually cool. I try that and stuff. Or the way they sequenced like the 808s and all stuff in one song and everything had me going like, damn, like I didn't even think to put an 808 like that and stuff, you know?
Right.
Like I ended up getting inspiration just from the beats alone, but as for like just him in general and everything, I was just kind of like, alright.
Yeah, exactly. And that's, that's always something to gain inspiration from. And did you see this album cover too? When I first saw it, I thought it was all his faces and he was just like putting his face on there, but I think these are his kids now. Cause I seen an Icebox episode of him recently where he took his, did you see that where he took his kid to Icebox for his birthday and bought him like $100,000 worth of jewelry, like an iced out watch and a bunch of other stuff in his own chain? I'm like, oh my God, that's the most spoiled kid in the world, man. Like, don't take that to school, man. Don't take all that to school. That'd be wild, bro. But yeah.
Nah, you don't want to take that to school for sure. But nah, I'll say this: the first time I saw this album cover and everything, I'm not gonna lie, I did freaking laugh and everything. I was like, bro, this has got to be the most egotistical freaking album cover I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
And so, but no, when I actually looked at it, it's like, yeah, there's like literally like his daughter right there. There's like his youngest son right there and all that stuff. Yeah, and that's like his teenager and everything, and that's him and stuff.
Yeah.
So seeing that, it's like he put his kids as Mount Rushmore because those are people he really like looks up to and all stuff. It's his own kids and everything. So I was like, all right, so now that actually, I can see why he calls it like it's only me and everything because it's only me and my family and stuff. Like that's all he's caring about and stuff. So
that's it, man. That's all that's important.
Yeah, so once I put two and two together, I was like, all right, that's actually a cool album cover. I like that, but I'll admit, when I first looked at it, I freaking busted out laughing.
Did you? Yeah.
I'm like, bro, did he really put all of his like faces on freaking Mount Rushmore and just called it It's Only Me? Like, wow.
Yeah, that's what I thought at first too, and I was like, okay, well, all right. I mean, you could expect Kanye West to do something like that too, though,
Oh yeah.
So
I'd be like, hey, this is the Yeezy from freaking College Dropout. This is freaking 808s and Heartbreak. This is what's it? My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, and this is Yay.
Yeah. Yeah, sir. Okay, so the last thing that I had too was, did you hear the new song that's been just blowing up lately called Poland by Lil Yachty?
I've heard of it, but I haven't really listened to it.
Oh man, you gotta listen. I took the to pull. He like just shakes his voice and does this wiggly thing with his voice that sounds. It sounds so bad that it sounds good, if that's possible. And wow, it's absolutely crazy.
It's definitely one of those ones. Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely crazy, and the inspiration behind it is absolutely funny because it's such a weird thing, such a coincidence, and it ended up being like such a big hit. And originally this had just released as like a little leak, but people loved it so much that he actually dropped it. Like he had no intentions of actually dropping it because he probably thought it sounded like crap too, but it's so bad that it's actually good. We can read this really quick. It says, as Poland continues to take over social media and the rise on the music charts, Lil Yachty has now revealed the unexpected inspiration for his viral hit track. The young rapper appeared in YouTube channel Zia's reaction for his Cole Bennett-directed Poland music video to share what really behind the infectious hook. Around the 4:30 mark, Lil Yachty said, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I was in the studio, right? Working on my new album. I was actually just trolling. My man's just drinking a Poland Springs water bottle, going on to say, yeah, I mean, I obviously had some wok, which is, it's the lean, but he had a Poland Springs water bottle. Also revealed that the song expected to appear on his next album. It's not finished yet, but he decided to release it to build the viral moments. So yeah, basically the hook they're talking about is, I took the walk to Poland. It's literally because he had some walk and his buddy had a Poland Springs water bottle. That's where the inspiration came from. So I thought that was funny. And then Lil Yachty said, it leaked, and that's why I was like, technically it's not finished. It's just a verse, sharing that he does not believe in holding out once a track leaks on the internet. Also, Yachty noted that he never took the walk to Poland, adding, but now I got to. Oh my God. So yeah, it's like a 1.5 minute song or something. So yeah, it's literally like one verse and then his hook, right? A couple times. So the inspiration behind it, it's too funny, and it just became, it's like I can't get it out of my head. I'll say that.
I'll definitely have to listen to it, man. Especially if it's only just like a minute and a half and everything. I'm pretty sure it'll be worth something.
Yeah, it'll be stuck in your head for sure, and you'll see what all the... I guarantee you'll hear it on your own somewhere if you don't end up listening to it. It'll pop up somewhere just because it's been around the block 10 times, man. It's out there.
Yeah, and also shout out to Zias and everything. He also makes really funny content and all stuff, so definitely go and check out him and stuff. He mostly does like reaction videos and stuff, but man, can I say, like, the energy that he brings all the freaking time to the reactions is just great. Like, you can't help but just have a smile on your face every time you're watching it.
Yeah, man. Good shit, man. Well, all right, that's all I had to talk about.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I had and everything as well.
Okay. Well, that was pretty good show for being unexpected like that and last minute. But yeah, I think we did good. We talked about a few things. There wasn't too much in the news in the last week anyways that we could have talked about, but those were the biggest things that I've seen, at least. So.
But yeah, definitely we'll keep an eye out for some other stuff that happens throughout the week. Now that I'm on vacation and everything, I know I'll be able to probably gather a good amount and everything throughout this next week, so it's gonna be fun. But definitely, yeah, if you guys haven't, go and check out that Coheed and Cambria album and everything and all that stuff. It's really good and everything, trust me on that. So definitely go and give that a listen. And definitely for everyone in my chat, if you've seen the description, there's the links to all of Fearless Beats socials and everything, including even the one YouTube that we're streaming the podcast on. So definitely go and give them a follow and subscribe to those and everything to keep up with all the new podcasts we're going to be doing for the next week and stuff.
Yep, and all of your links are in my description as well, so go give him a follow, show him some love. And yeah, we're going to be doing this weekly as much as possible. Last week we had some stuff go down, so we couldn't make it, but yeah, we should. And then I think I'm going to try to get your contact information so that I can get a hold of you better. That way I don't miss any of your messages in Discord or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
But, all right, man. Well, shit. Enjoy the rest of your night, and yeah, I'll be talking to you real soon.
Heck yeah, man. Fred, it's always fun talking about this stuff, so really can't wait for the next time, man.
Yes, sir. Okay, well, I'll talk to you then. Later.
Heck yeah.
Peace. Hell yeah, everybody. Appreciate y'all for coming through. Let me switch screens real quick. Switch scenes to the best. Oh, damn, that's lagging behind. I swear to God, I change that every time. I don't know why. Appreciate y'all for hanging out. Yo, Stoodle. Oh, yeah, you were asking what's our favorite plugin. We actually... Was it last time? I think it was our first episode. If you go back and watch it, we actually talked about our top 5 favorite plugins each, I believe. So you can check that one out. But I think my favorite one was like FabFilter Pro Q3. Just because it's like the best, you know, the EQ is the best in the world. But yeah, man. So I appreciate you for sticking around and hanging out with us. I know you asked if we were going to do any beat critique soon. I don't think so. I don't have anything planned, at least in the future. I am currently focusing on my other channel as much as possible. I wasn't even sure if I still wanted to do these, but I'm going to try to keep these up just for consistency, these weekly things. So We're going to be doing these weekly ones on this channel every week. But as far as that, everything's going to be on my main channel. We're just going to be hitting the content hard and going crazy because I'm going to be spending more time on that, really trying to get that to take off. So that's where my concentration is at right now. The beat critiques are fun, but it's like, you know what I mean? It doesn't do much for the channel and the growth of it. So I'd like to get my channel growth going. And then as we get more time later on, we'll start doing them again. But definitely not the top priority. But hey, I appreciate you anyways, man. I appreciate you for hanging out with us and all the support and everything. And we'll be back again next week doing these. And hopefully there'll be more going on as well that we can talk about. But yeah, man, appreciate all of y'all for coming through and hanging out. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Have a great next week. And yeah, we'll be back again next week with another one. So shout out to you guys. Appreciate y'all. All right, I'll catch you guys again next time. Peace out.